There's a real sense of tension building around Rangers right now, and you can feel it in every conversation, every match preview, every bit of analysis coming out of Ibrox. With just 8 games left in the league, the situation couldn't be clearer or more intense. This is the defining stretch of the season, the kind of run where titles are either seized with authority or slip away under pressure. Every single fixture from here on carries massive weight, and there's simply no margin for error anymore. It's a straight fight to the finish, and Rangers know that anything less than perfection could cost them everything. The reality is that the title race has tightened to the point where 3 sides are still firmly in the hunt, and that only raises the stakes even further. It's not just about winning games. It's about handling the pressure, about stepping up in moments when it matters most. For Rangers, the upcoming run of matches, especially at home, has to be treated like finals. Dropping points at Ibrox is no longer an option, not if they want to stay ahead in this race. The expectation is clear, the demand is absolute, and the players know exactly what is required of them. But just as the focus sharpens on the pitch, a major concern has emerged that could seriously impact the team's chances during this crucial period. There's growing anxiety surrounding the condition of Mohamed Diamand, and it's a situation that has quickly gone from uncertainty to genuine worry. He's been a key figure in the side, a player who brings balance, energy, and composure to the midfield, and his absence would be a significant blow at the worst possible time. What makes it even more concerning is how the situation has unfolded. After starting in that high-intensity cup clash against Celtic, he was taken off at halftime, and from there, the signs haven't been encouraging. Missing the next matchday squad entirely raised eyebrows, and now the details emerging suggest that the issue may be far more serious than initially thought. There are fears that he suffered a shoulder injury during that game, with reports pointing towards a possible dislocation. If that's confirmed, then it's not just a minor setback. It's something that could require a lengthy recovery process. The worst-case scenario being discussed involves surgery, and if it comes to that, it could effectively rule him out for the remainder of the campaign. That's the kind of development that can shift momentum in a title race. Losing a player of his importance at this stage would force adjustments, tactical reshuffles, and it would test the depth of the squad in a way that few other situations could. It's not just about replacing a name on the team sheet. It's about replacing a presence, a rhythm, a certain level of control in midfield that he consistently provides. There is still a degree of hope, of course. In the best-case scenario, the injury may not be as severe as feared, and he could return within a few weeks. But right now, that uncertainty is hanging over the squad, and it's something that both the coaching staff and the supporters are watching very closely. Every update matters. Every hint about his recovery timeline becomes crucial because it could define how Rangers approach these final matches. Interestingly, while one midfielder faces a spell on the sidelines, another has just made his return, which adds a different layer to the situation. There's a sense that the squad will need to adapt quickly, that players coming back into the fold must be ready to step up immediately. That's the nature of a title race. It doesn't wait for anyone, and it certainly doesn't slow down because of injuries. The challenge now is maintaining consistency despite these disruptions, finding solutions within the group, and ensuring that performances don't drop at the most critical moment of the season. At the same time, attention has also turned to the performances of some of the more experienced figures in the squad, particularly those who have been through situations like this before. In tight races, experience can make all the difference, and having players who understand the pressure, who know how to manage difficult moments, becomes invaluable. That leadership, both on and off the pitch, could be a decisive factor as Rangers navigate this final stretch. There's also been a noticeable shift in how certain players are being utilized, suggesting a more measured and controlled approach in recent matches. It's not always about flair or attacking brilliance. Sometimes it's about discipline, structure, and getting the job done efficiently. That was evident in the latest performance, where the team may not have been at their most spectacular, but they showed the kind of professionalism that wins titles. Grinding out results, staying organized, and making smart decisions under pressure, these are the qualities that often separate champions from the rest. As the season edges closer to its conclusion, everything is starting to align towards these final 8 games. Every selection decision, every tactical adjustment, every injury update, it all feeds into what is shaping up to be a dramatic and defining period. The margins are so fine now that even the smallest detail can have a massive impact, and Rangers are fully aware that they need to be at their absolute best from here on out. And as the spotlight intensifies on the squad as a whole, there's one figure whose presence continues to spark discussion, not because of uncertainty in performance, but because of the evolving role he now plays within the team. James Tavernier remains one of the most recognizable and enduring figures at the club, and his latest outing served as a timely reminder of exactly why he has held that status for so long. Stepping back into the starting 11, he delivered a display built on composure, awareness, and leadership, qualities that become even more valuable at this stage of the campaign. It wasn't a match filled with attacking brilliance or moments of individual magic, but that almost made his contribution stand out even more. In a game where control and structure were essential, he brought a level of calm that helped guide the team through difficult spells. His positioning was disciplined, his use of the ball was reliable, and perhaps most importantly, his communication and organization helped maintain stability when the game threatened to drift. These are the kind of performances that don't always grab headlines, but they are often the backbone of successful teams. What makes his situation particularly interesting right now is the context surrounding his place in the squad. There's a clear sense that his role is changing, that he is no longer the automatic selection he once was, and yet his importance hasn't disappeared. Instead, it has shifted. He's becoming a player who can be called upon in specific moments, someone who can bring experience and control when it's needed most. And in a title race like this, that kind of presence can be just as crucial as any attacking threat. Reaching such a remarkable number of appearances for the club only reinforces that point. It speaks to consistency, to durability, and to a level of professionalism that has allowed him to remain relevant across different phases of the team's development. In modern football, where squads are constantly changing and long-term stays are becoming increasingly rare, that kind of longevity stands out. It's not just about talent. It's about maintaining standards over time, adapting to new systems, new managers, and new expectations. At the same time, there's an underlying question that continues to grow as the season moves forward, and that's what comes next for him. With his contract situation still unresolved, there's a sense that a decision is approaching, one that could shape both his future and the club's direction. Whether he continues playing, looks for a new challenge elsewhere, or begins transitioning into a different role within the game, it's a moment that carries significant weight. There's a strong argument to be made that his qualities would translate naturally into a leadership or coaching position. His understanding of the demands at this level, his experience in high-pressure situations, and his ability to organize and communicate on the pitch all point towards a future where he could influence the next generation. For the club, retaining that knowledge could be incredibly valuable, especially during a period where continuity and identity are so important. For now, though, the focus remains firmly on the here and now. The title race doesn't allow for distractions, and every player in the squad has a role to play, whether that's starting every week or contributing in more selective moments. What his recent performance showed is that he is still capable of stepping in and delivering when called upon, and that reliability could prove vital in the weeks ahead. There's also a broader theme running through the squad at the moment, a sense of transition balanced with the need for immediate results. Younger players are pushing for opportunities, new ideas are being implemented, but at the same time, there's a reliance on those who understand what it means to wear the shirt in high-stakes situations. Finding that balance is one of the key challenges right now, ensuring that progress doesn't come at the cost of stability. As the fixtures begin to stack up and the pressure continues to build, every decision becomes magnified. Team selection, substitutions, tactical tweaks, they all carry greater significance when the margins are so tight. And within that environment, having players who can handle those moments, who don't get overwhelmed by the occasion, becomes a major advantage. The uncertainty around both injuries and contracts only adds another layer to what is already a complex situation. It's not just about preparing for the next match. It's about managing the squad as a whole, keeping players focused despite the noise, and ensuring that the collective objective remains clear. There's no room for distraction, no space for complacency, because every point from here on could be decisive. What's becoming increasingly evident is that this final stretch will test every aspect of the team. Physical resilience, mental strength, tactical discipline, all of it will be pushed to the limit. And in those moments, it's often the teams that stay composed, that trust their structure and rely on their experience, who come out on top. Rangers find themselves right in the middle of that battle, fully aware of what's at stake and what is required to achieve their goal. The path ahead is demanding, filled with challenges both expected and unexpected, but it's also an opportunity. An opportunity to show character, to demonstrate consistency, and to prove that they have what it takes to go all the way in one of the most tightly contested finishes in recent memory. As the pressure continues to mount, what becomes even more crucial is how the squad manages the emotional side of this title race. It's not just about tactics or fitness anymore, it's about mentality. Every misplaced pass, every missed chance, every defensive lapse feels amplified at this stage, and the players need to stay locked in from the first whistle to the last. Composure will be everything, especially in matches where the opposition looks to frustrate and disrupt rhythm. Rangers have to find that balance between urgency and control, pushing for results without becoming reckless. There's also the factor of momentum, which can shift very quickly in a run-in like this. A convincing win can lift confidence across the entire squad, while a setback can create doubt that spreads just as fast. That's why consistency is the ultimate goal now. Not just winning, but winning in a way that reinforces belief, that builds a sense of inevitability. The teams that go on to lift the title are usually the ones who find a rhythm at exactly the right time, and Rangers will be aiming to hit that stride over these remaining fixtures. The role of the supporters cannot be overlooked either, especially with key matches still to be played at Ibrox. The atmosphere, the energy from the stands, the way the crowd responds to big moments, it all feeds into the performance on the pitch. When the team is pushing forward, chasing a goal, or holding on to a narrow lead, that backing can make a real difference. It creates an environment where opponents feel the pressure just as much, if not more, and that can tilt tight games in Rangers' favor. At the same time, there's a need for leaders within the squad to step up vocally and set the tone in difficult moments. Whether it's organizing defensively, demanding more intensity, or simply keeping heads up when things aren't going smoothly, those voices become essential. It's not always about the standout performer. Sometimes it's about the players who hold everything together when the game becomes chaotic. That internal leadership could be one of the defining elements of how this title race unfolds. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. There's a quiet murmur circulating around Ibrox right now, the kind of whisper that grows louder with each passing hour. People are talking, yes, and not just in the pubs or the stands, but also behind the scenes at the club itself. The topic? The long-awaited debut of the €25 million player, a signing that some are already saying could change the course of Rangers' future. No official word has confirmed the high expectations, but you can feel them in the air. This isn't just another player wearing the shirt. This is a statement, or at least that's what the rumors want you to believe. Those close to the training ground hint at a different presence, sharper, quicker, more ambitious than most who came before in recent years. They say the kid has been impressing in training, leaving seasoned professionals behind, as if they were watching the next chapter of something bigger unfold before their eyes. There are even rumors that the manager's plans have completely changed to focus on this new signing, although no one is willing to confirm that yet. As expected, the fans are divided between hope and caution. Rangers have seen big signings before, players brought in with great fanfare only to disappear into obscurity. But this seems different, or at least that's what people want to believe. A price tag like that doesn't come without expectations, and the expectation at Ibrox can be a heavy burden to bear. Still, there's a sense that this debut could mark the beginning of something significant. Nobody is saying it openly, but you can tell from the tone of the comments. The idea that this could be the player who will redefine what Rangers aspire to be, both at home and away. For now, it remains speculation, carried by the wind by Govan and beyond. But if at least half of what's being whispered turns out to be true, then the first glimpse of this new star could be remembered for a very, very long time. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.